deal with episode number 9 of Pokemon Horizons. I think it's no secret. I am a huge fan of Pokemon Horizons so far. And that's a good thing because when I think about my experiences through Pokemon Sun and Moon or Pokemon Journeys, I think Pokemon Journeys actually had a really good start to it. It kind of ended up falling flat over time, and then it kind of like it had ebbs and flows. Like it had really good little arcs, and then it had boo boo arcs, right? I think when Ash and when was it Gone or whatever his name was, I forget. But when Ash and the new kid, and I had it tip of my tongue and I forgot. But when Ash and the new kid, when they were chasing after like Ho-Oh and doing all those things, I thought that was awesome. And then after that, I kind of like felt a little stale and stuff. So I think that Pokemon Horizons come out and has really set the tone and on fire. I think the main thing that's going to be hurting Pokemon Horizons is its English dub being too far from the release of Scarlet and Violet. Now, I think if the dub can coincide when the DLC releases, I think that'll help it a little bit. But I think like right now, kind of if I think 9 weeks back ago, right? 9 weeks back ago was around like April, right? That this started appearing. April was about 4 or 5 months. It was about 5 months out from the original release of Scarlet and Violet. Now, I can tell you guys, and I can look in the eyes, there's two things here. One, Pokemon in general is created for kids. We just happen to indulge on it, right? We as, older people, whether you're in your teens and you're a little bit older, maybe you're in high school, whatever, or you're an old folk like me, we can enjoy Pokemon because we've been growing up with it our entire lives, okay? But the reality is Pokemon's made for kids. And if we think about 5-6 months ago, because Scarlet and Violet released in November. Well, okay, so we can think, like, I can tell you guys right now, my kids fell off. Like, last night, okay, they were playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet because my wife was playing. She was shiny hunting. That kind of, the kids, they're very easily impressionable. So, like, if I get an itch to play Animal Crossing, suddenly my daughter wants to play Animal Crossing, right? If I play a little bit of Legends Arceus for whatever reason, my daughter's like, oh, I'm going to jump in. Last night, my wife was playing a little Scarlet and Violet. My son just started playing a little Scarlet and Violet, right? So it's just kind of how it goes. But the reality is, for the most part, my kids are no longer dailying it anymore. Neither am I, to be honest. So I think, the biggest detriment to the show is how far it is from the release of Scarlet and Violet. The closer they can get that parody, the better, because this episode showed me that they're doing such an excellent job of recreating our Scarlet and Violet experience, right? This specific episode, we got to see Naranja Academy, which is Orange Academy, in Paldea. So we got to see Orange Academy there, kind of living and breathing. We got to see Liko and Roy go to all the different shops there. We got to see some of the different Pokemon. Next episode, we got a preview. We're going to be able to see the grass gym leader as well as Nimona, right? We're going to get to Liko's going to make a best friend. This episode also solidified that Liko is, in fact, us. She is the protagonist of Scarlet and Violet. Like, her house was our house in Scarlet and Violet, which means Nimona is probably going to be our neighbor or Liko's neighbor here. And so I think all that stuff is really, really cool. And I think that, if you've played Scarlet and Violet, you're going to, you're going to really nerd out by seeing all of these different things. I know this episode I was nerding out by like, oh my god, they did this, like here's the academy. I hope they meet the director and all such. So with the preview for next episode, I was like, okay, I'm even more excited. This episode too, we saw Lechonk, and I love Lechonk. I'm trying to see if I have it in the room. No, I don't have it in the room. I have a Lechonk plush. You guys can't see, but like right above my head, I have like a whole line of like a bunch of other stuff above my head. And I was like, oh my god, I hope Liko's first Pokemon she catches is Lechonk. Now, it didn't end up happening. I can't wait to see what her first Pokemon capture outside of Sprigatito is going to be. But I thought that was really, really cool. Now, I started this review saying, hey, I have love-hate with episode number 9. So let me kind of explain this. So my love is everything that I just went over. The hate part of it is kind of two things, right? I think Liko this episode was finding her way. And I think at the end of it, she finally put two and two together, and it's fine that she wants to go on adventures. It's fine that she wants to go and, be a Voltiker or whatever. I can't get out of the mindset of, like, realism. Is, like, right now the Voltikers got paid by her grandma to go retrieve Liko for whatever reason. That's what we're in the midst of finding out, is what the hell was grandma thinking and doing, okay? Eventually, that money's going to run out. Like, they've paid, she paid the Voltikers, and that money's going to run out. So what are they're going to have to take other jobs to make money if money's not coming from Liko and her family. Even though she gets to stay with them, she's going to have to work. So there's that part of it, okay? Which I think that it wasn't really, talked about. It wasn't really gone over. Again, it's a kid's show, so I imagine a lot of broad strokes are going to end up happening. The second thing is, this episode, Liko was like, oh, yeah, I forgot I have to go home and stuff. It's like, yeah, girl, not only do you have to go home, they have to make sure you're safe. There's two roads that leads down. One is you have these other guys, that are still coming after you, Armatheo or whatever. You have this whole other group. They're still coming after you. So even if the Voltikers leave you here, like, we still have to deal with the fact that these bad guys are seemingly coming after her, right? The other part of it is she's 10. She has to live her life, either being a trainer or going to school. So that's the second avenue, is like, they returned her home, but homegirl got to get back to school. Like, she still has to go live in the dorm. She has to still go take classes. Yes, she could do the remote and online, but it's like at that same point, it's like, what was the point of getting a room in the dorm and enrolling and everything else? Like, if you got to go online, just go to Orange Academy at this point. You know what I mean? So it's like, you have all these different things that obviously they're not really going to explain. Again, it's a kid's show, broad strokes. I want to go on an adventure. Let's go on an adventure. That's kind of what's going to happen. But there's those, I can't deny that part of my brain that's like the realism. I just have to kind of like overcome the realism and just go like, okay, realism, Piplup, realism, Piplup. It's like I just have to kind of like overcome that specific thing in my head, because I was like, yo, girl, you gotta go back to school. Like, you think about going to adventure? Like, yo, you in class, semester ain't over, girl. So that's kind of the part of that as well too. The rest of the things that happened in this episode, because I've taken up a lot of time just yapping away here. The rest of the episode I thought was really cool. I like meeting a bunch of different Pokemon in Paldea. I like how this episode really solidified how, if you didn't see it while you were playing Scarlet and Violet, how 𝐒𝐻𝐳 gets around, which I think is just cool to see animated. When you see it in the game, it's one thing, but seeing him not use his wheels, I think was really, really cool. We got to see a Fido or a Fido, depending on how you say it. Apparently, that was her dad's Pokemon in Japanese and Japan. Apparently, Fido goes by Puppy Mochi, which I think is a much, much better name than what we got, which is Fido. So I thought that was a really cool thing to see as well. 𝐒𝐿𝐴, this episode was mad. It was very jelly of the Pokemon and everything, but I thought that was really, really cute. I like how Liko finally saw Dot's grooming suit, so I like how she's like, I'm gonna figure that out later. So hopefully she was smart enough to put two and two together there, because it's like, hey, you can see Grooming's thing right there. And then the episode ends really with just a really, really cute picture that her dad did. Her dad's an artist. Her dad did a picture of Fido and 𝐒𝐿𝐴. I thought that was really cute. Then we got an episode trailer for next week. So overall, really good episode. It was really animated really, really well. Really captured the heart. There's just some things there that I was like, girl, you got to go back to school kind of thing. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments below. I mean, overall, I'm loving it. You guys know that. I can't wait for episode number 10. And I don't know how many episodes this season's going as well. I don't think that they've indicated that yet. I think, right now it's just, if I look everywhere, it's like question marks of like how many episodes we're actually getting. So how long will I be covering this? Until they stop running it, essentially. So this could very much be, we could be on a, 40, 50 episode. I could be like, hey, welcome to week 50, guys. So it's going to be interesting thing. So anyways, I'll see you guys next week for episode number 10. And if this goes into summer or fall or whatever, I'll still be here, y'all. I love Pokemon Horizons. It's fantastic. This has been one of the greatest things I've done so far on the channel. So anyways, see you guys next week. Peace.